What if I told you that your chronic lower back pain isn't actually a back problem at all? That the reason you've tried everything and nothing has worked is because you've been treating the wrong area this entire time? Here's the truth doctors rarely explain. Your lower back pain is often caused by weak, underactive glutes. And when those muscles aren't doing their job, your back pays the price every single day. That's why the thumbnail says, "Back pain gone." Because when you strengthen the right muscles, relief can happen faster than you ever imagined. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you 4 specific glute exercises designed for women over 60 that target the root cause of lower back pain. Just like Barbara, 71, who couldn't sleep through the night for 3 years and now gardens pain-free every morning. You'll understand exactly why your back hurts, what's been missing from every treatment you've tried, and the simple movements that can finally bring you relief. Let's get started. Let's talk about what's really happening in your body right now. You wake up in the morning and that familiar ache is already there, isn't it? Before you even put your feet on the floor, you're wondering how bad it's going to be today. You move carefully, deliberately, because you've learned the hard way that one wrong twist can leave you stuck on the couch for days. Maybe you've stopped bending down to pick up your grandchildren. Maybe you've given up your garden because the thought of kneeling and standing makes you wince. Perhaps you've canceled plans with friends because sitting in a restaurant for an hour sounds like torture. And the nights are worse. You shift from position to position, trying to find that one angle where the pain backs off enough for you to fall asleep. You've tried every pillow configuration imaginable. You wake up exhausted, and the cycle starts all over again. This isn't just pain. This is your entire life being held hostage by your lower back. Let me tell you about Patricia, 67, from Colorado. She came to me after 2 years of constant lower back pain. She'd seen 3 different doctors, tried physical therapy twice, bought a new mattress, and spent hundreds of dollars on pain medication. Nothing worked for more than a few days. She told me the worst part wasn't even the physical pain anymore. It was the hopelessness. The feeling that this was just her life now. That being 67 meant accepting that her active days were over. She'd always loved hiking with her husband, but she hadn't been on a trail in over a year. She felt like she was watching her own life shrink, becoming smaller and smaller, all because of her back. The emotional toll of chronic pain is something people don't talk about enough. The frustration when someone suggests you just try yoga or take a warm bath, as if you haven't already tried everything you could think of. The isolation when you stop accepting invitations because you can't predict how you'll feel. The fear that creeps in when you realize you're avoiding more and more activities. And worst of all, that quiet voice that whispers, "This is just what happens when you get older." That voice is wrong. And in just a moment, I'll show you exactly why most people never fix this, and what you can do differently starting today. Here's what most people get completely wrong about lower back pain. They think the problem is in their back, so they focus all their attention there. They stretch their back, they get massages on their back, they put heating pads on their back. And yes, these things might feel good temporarily, but they're not addressing the actual problem. Here's the truth that changes everything. Your lower back isn't designed to be the primary mover of your body. It's designed for stability. The real powerhouse of your lower body, the muscles that should be doing the heavy lifting, are your glutes. Your glutes are the largest, strongest muscle group in your entire body. When they're working properly, they handle the forces of walking, standing up, bending, lifting, everything. But here's what happens as we age, especially for women. We become more sedentary, often without realizing it. We sit more, we move less vigorously, and our glutes, well, they basically fall asleep. Physical therapists actually call this gluteal amnesia. Your body forgets how to activate these crucial muscles. And when your glutes aren't doing their job, guess what has to compensate? Your lower back. Those smaller muscles and delicate structures are suddenly being asked to do work they were never designed for. Day after day, year after year, until finally, they start screaming in pain. Most conventional treatments fail because they're treating the symptom, not the cause. It's like trying to fix a leak in your ceiling by constantly mopping the floor. You might manage the immediate problem, but you're never going to solve it until you fix the roof. The same is true for your back pain. Until you wake up those glutes and teach them to work again, your back will continue to suffer. So let's talk about what actually works. The solution is targeted glute strengthening, but not just any exercises. We need movements specifically designed for women over 60, taking into account joint health, balance considerations, and the reality that you might be starting from a place of pain. I'm going to walk you through 4 movements that work together to rebuild your glute strength and take the burden off your lower back. The first exercise is the glute bridge. This is foundational because it teaches your body to use your glutes again in a safe, controlled position. You lie on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. The movement is simple. You press through your heels and lift your hips toward the ceiling, squeezing your glutes at the top. But here's the key detail most people miss. Before you even lift, you need to consciously think about engaging your glutes. Put your hands on your buttocks if you need to. Feel them tighten. This mind-muscle connection is everything. Start with just 8 to 10 repetitions, holding the top position for 2 seconds. If even this feels like too much, start by just practicing the squeeze without lifting. There's no shame in meeting yourself where you are. The second exercise is the clamshell. This targets your gluteus medius, a smaller glute muscle on the side of your hip that's crucial for stability. Weak gluteus medius muscles are one of the biggest contributors to lower back pain because they control how your pelvis moves when you walk. For clamshells, you lie on your side with your knees bent. Keeping your feet together, you lift your top knee like a clamshell opening, then lower it back down. The movement is small, maybe just 6 to 8 inches of lift, but you should feel it working on the side of your hip. Do 10 repetitions on each side, moving slowly and with control. Quick note, if you want all of this laid out for you step by step, I put together a complete guide called The Glute Strength Solution for Lasting Back Pain Relief. Everything you need in one place. Check the pinned comment below and grab it. The third exercise is the standing hip extension. This one is functional, meaning it mimics real-life movements, which makes it incredibly practical. Stand behind a sturdy chair, holding the back for balance. Keeping your knee straight but not locked, lift one leg directly behind you, squeezing your glute as you do. The range of motion doesn't need to be large. Even 6 inches of movement is effective if you're truly engaging the right muscle. The mistake people make is leaning forward or arching their back. Keep your torso upright and your core engaged. Your back should not move at all. Only your leg. Do 10 repetitions on each side. The fourth exercise is the seated hip abduction. This is perfect because you can do it anywhere, even while watching television. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Place a small pillow or folded towel between your knees. Now press your knees outward against resistance. Hold for 5 seconds, then release. This activates your outer glutes and helps restore the stability your pelvis desperately needs. Repeat this 15 times. Let me tell you about Margaret, 73, who started these 4 exercises just 12 weeks ago. She'd been living with lower back pain for 5 years. 5 years of limiting her life, of saying no to things she wanted to do, of feeling older than her age. She was skeptical at first. How could such simple movements change anything when nothing else had worked? But she committed to doing these exercises 5 days a week, just 15 minutes a day. Within 3 weeks, she noticed she was sleeping better. Within 6 weeks, the constant ache had reduced to occasional discomfort. By week 12, she took her first pain-free walk in years. She cried when she told me. Not because of the physical relief, though that was wonderful, but because she felt like herself again. She felt capable. She felt hopeful about her future instead of resigned to decline. Now let me give you the exact steps to apply this starting today. First, commit to just 5 days a week, not 7. You need rest days for your muscles to recover and strengthen. Pick 5 days right now and mark them on your calendar. The biggest fear I hear is that people worry they'll start strong and then fall off, like every other time they've tried to establish a routine. Here's how you overcome that. Start ridiculously small. Don't try to be perfect, just do the exercises, even if you only do 5 repetitions of each instead of 10. Showing up matters more than perfection. Second, create a specific time and place for these exercises. Not just someday when you have time, but an actual appointment with yourself. Maybe it's right after breakfast. Maybe it's before your evening television program. Whatever you choose, make it consistent. The fear here is that life will get in the way, that something will always come up. And yes, some days will be harder than others, but 15 minutes is less time than one television show. You have the time. It's about making yourself the priority. Third, track your progress, but not just with the exercises themselves. Yes, note when you increase your repetitions or when a movement feels easier, but also track your daily function. Can you stand up from a chair more easily? Did you sleep better? Were you able to play with your grandchildren without worrying about your back? These real-life improvements are what actually matter. The fear is that progress will be too slow, that you'll put in the work and see no results. But change is happening even when you can't see it yet. Trust the process. Fourth, focus on the quality of each movement, not the quantity. It's better to do 5 perfect glute bridges where you really feel your glutes working than 20 sloppy ones where your back is doing all the work. If you're not sure you're doing them right, place your hands on your glutes and feel for the muscle engagement. You should feel them tighten and work. If you don't, adjust your form until you do. Fifth, be patient and consistent. Real strength takes time to build, especially when you're retraining muscles that have been dormant for years. But here's what I know for certain. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Doing a little bit regularly will always outperform doing a lot occasionally. Let me tell you quickly about Helen, 69, who followed these exact steps. After just 8 weeks, she went on a weekend trip with her daughter and walked through an entire museum without once thinking about her back. She told me that moment, that realization that she'd been focused on the art instead of her pain, was when she knew her life had changed. So here we are at the end of our time together, and I want you to really think about something. You have 2 paths in front of you right now. The first path is the one you've been on. The one where you wake up every morning already bracing for pain. Where you measure your days by what you can't do instead of what you can. Where you watch your world get smaller and smaller, giving up gardening, walking, playing with grandchildren, traveling, all the things that make life rich and full. Where you resign yourself to the idea that this is just what 60 plus looks like, even though deep down you know that's not true. Where you spend money on treatments that only mask the problem temporarily, never addressing the real cause. Where fear of injury keeps you from living fully, from bending, from moving, from being spontaneous. That path leads to more of the same, day after day, year after year. Or there's the second path, the one where you take control, where you invest 15 minutes a day into rebuilding your body's foundation, where you wake up 4 weeks from now and realize you slept through the night, where you bend down to pick something up without thinking about it first, where you say yes to activities instead of automatically saying no, where you feel strong, capable, and hopeful about what your body can do, where you prove to yourself that aging doesn't mean declining, it just means adapting. That path is available to you right now, today, this moment. Everything I just shared and more is waiting for you right now in the pinned comment below. Click it. Get the complete guide, because you deserve to live without chronic pain dictating every choice you make. Don't wait. Your body is more resilient than you think. Your best days don't have to be behind you. Relief is possible, and it starts with one simple decision: choosing yourself and your well-being today.